Oh, hello. I didn't see you guys there. It's been a couple decades since I've been waiting for this game to come out. It's out! Oh, yes, baby! It's Honkai Star Rail! We've got waifus, we've got weapons, we've got wishes, we've got waifus. But Connor, you may be asking, don't all gacha games literally have this? What makes Honkai Star Rail so special? Well. Let's get into it. First off, Honkai Star Rail is a turn-based game. Why is that relevant though? It's flexibility. Unlike other games that require more intensity, you can play this game with a few buttons and you don't need to actively always break your wrist to play every day. That being said, if you would like to break your wrist, or if you enjoy the immersion, this game still does let you run around, experience everything that you would love from a 3D open world gacha game. Yay, dailies! Another big thing about this game is that it's also mobile. Have you ever tried playing an action combat game on mobile before? Because I have. This is not doable. This is not fun. This is more of a chore than entertainment, and unless if you're into pain, I'm not a huge fan of doing stuff like this on mobile. So what's the solution? Well, first off, it's a turn-based gacha that looks good. Wow! It's also playable on mobile. Wow! And you don't have to try and fight with a character with on-screen, really gimmicky, non-responsive controls. Wow! Now we're talking. One of the nicest things about Honkai Star Rail, of course, is the fact that it lets you multitask, which of course means more time for anime, more time to beg Hoyoverse for an anime, lets you actually spend time with your friends. But enough about the gameplay scheme. Let's talk about the fact that Honkai Star Rail is free to play. Yes, well, it says here that when a game is free to play, it's more accessible to players. Thank you, Captain Obvious, which is kind of typical of gachas nowadays, but yeah, so anyways, that's about it for reasons why free-to-play is good. But I actually think that being free-to-play is nice because I get to scam my friends into playing it, and my viewers join me, guys. No gacha player ever wanted to play it by themselves. Anyway, you may be asking yourself at this point, what does Star Rail even comprise of? What is there to do in Star Rail? And I'm glad you asked. So here's what we have. We have relics, we have talents, we have light cones, we have paths, and you may be saying to yourself, what the hell is he talking about? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I like to call freedom of choice! Yeah! Woo! Yay! Fireworks! Woo! Woo! Yay! Now, of course, we're only in the closed beta, but the full gearing, gameplay loop, the customization system, gearing, all that stuff, seems to all be set in stone, which is good because it allows for a lot of flexibility and customization. So, to just run down what the things I just said are, and to kind of give you a frame of reference, relics is gear, talents is constellation, skills things, light cones are weapons, paths are basically classes. So, what are you going to do with all these new features? Well, that's right, with freedom of choice, you can build units however you like, barring one singular kind of restriction where you can't have artifacts with certain classes. But aside from that, you're free to build characters however you like, which is very nice. It's very flexible. It doesn't force you into a certain playstyle or a certain gear set, etc., etc. And of course, what that leads to is infinite rolling and posting your gear on Twitter and not being happy because your gear looks like shit. Wow, yeah, woo, yay, love gacha games! Something cool that Hoyoverse also released was something called the self-modeling resin, which, if you aren't familiar, this is the reward for the level 40 part of the battle pass, and it allows you to create a perfect piece of artifact gear. Yes! For all you gacha players out there, for most people that have ever rolled gear, this is really significant, because getting a perfect piece of gear is really, really hard. Look at all this money wasted. Look at all this other money wasted. Look at all this time wasted. You probably spent thousands of hours trying to make a perfect piece of gear. And now for completing the battle pass, which is probably going to be a common occurrence, you get one perfect piece of gear. Good stuff, Hoyoverse. Moving along, we have something that I think is actually really important. Being able to understand what you're looking at a first glance. Crit chance, crit damage, attack, HP. So all of this is really familiar, but of course we also have Okay, speed. Now, if you played other gacha games like Epic 7 or Summoner's War, you know that speed is really, really important. It dictates who goes first, and that's no different for Honkai Star Rail. Where things can differ is how Hoyoverse decides to use speed. If Hoyoverse decides to make speed super, super important in dictating who goes first, and a lot of units end up being strong by going first, then this could be a problem, because since it's a gacha game, rolling for one specific stat is really constraining and sometimes really unfun to play. However, we have no reason to believe that Hoyoverse would make the game like that. There isn't any PvP as we know right now. That would make speed tuning super important, and as far as I can tell, speed tuning wise, it's okay, but not that important in Honkai Star Rail anyways. Now, onto the juiciest part. The pullable characters on release. That's right, there's 27 of these motherfuckers. But honestly, who needs them? Yes, that's right, I only need one. Her name is Kafka. Did someone say Kafka? Holy moly, this character is literally everything I wanted from Makima and more. Guns, badass, no BS. Mommy! Wait, what's that? She's not available yet. No! Now, of course, we also have some of the nicest looking male characters in Honkai Star Rail. We have dude, okay, honestly, I don't remember how to say his name. I've heard like so many different ways to say his name. That doesn't matter. He's free, and he looks like he can bench and take care of me while I'm homeless, you know, from pulling all the other characters in Honkai. But that's not to discredit how good Jepert. Okay, you guys get what I mean, right? This other guy looks like Prince Charming, which is great because I am definitely a damsel in distress. However, moving along from the characters, what about the story? Now, of course, story and enjoyment of it is always subjective. However, there is one feature that puts Honkai Star Rail above all other gachas. Yes, baby, that's right, it's called choice! Interested in the story? Click on as many of these dialogue boxes as you want to learn more. No one's stopping you. Not interested in the story at all? Then just ignore all of them. Press this one that just lets you skip through the story. Go to the rest of the objectives. Finish the game as fast as you want. Now, of course, I'm not going to be the one to tell you to appreciate or skip through the story, but just having the options is so nice. Take notes, other games. This is such a good feature. Now, after all the dust has settled, there is always something that we could appreciate when it comes to Honkai Star Rail. Looking at you, Kafka. But I think that's going to be it for this video. Honkai Star Rail is a solid game that has its own original solid features, but also takes inspiration or outright includes some successful features from other games, which is a good thing. I believe that the saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it, can be pretty relevant when it comes to features in video games, so I'm glad they decided to stick with it. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, comment, turn the notification bell, subscribe, leave a comment below if you like this video. Hopefully this video instead of Epic 7 was decent, good. Put a lot of time and effort into it. But for those of you coming from Honkai Star Rail, I hope you enjoyed this video, hope it was informative, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Adios.